The New York Yankees might have just stumbled upon a future superstar at exactly the moment they need one most. With multiple players currently occupying the outfield heading toward free agency, the Yankees are staring down a reality where some of their key contributors could be wearing different uniforms next season. That makes the emergence of a young talent like Dylan Lewis absolutely crucial for the organization. While many eyes have been on the bigger names or high-profile prospects, Lewis has quietly been putting together a season that demands attention. What's remarkable is not just his statistics, but the way he's developed into a player who seems ready to make an impact at every level he touches. Entering the season, Lewis was unranked in the Yankee system, but through a combination of raw athleticism, improved approach at the plate, and game-changing speed, he has climbed all the way to the team's number 12 prospect. Right now, he's tearing it up for the Hudson Valley Renegades, consistently showing the kind of explosive potential that scouts dream about. In a single standout game, he went 3 for 5, crushing a 2-run home run, a 3-run double, and picking up an additional RBI to finish with 6 runs batted in for the day. This is exactly the kind of performance that turns heads, but what's more impressive is that it's not an isolated incident. Lewis has maintained a high level of production throughout the season, showing both power and consistency that make him one of the most exciting prospects the Yankees have seen in years. In terms of numbers, Lewis has tallied 20 home runs and 22 RBIs so far this season, along with an OPS of 800 across single-A and double-A competition. For a player in his first professional season, these are staggering figures, and they highlight both his ability to hit for power and his skill at making solid contact. Beyond the numbers, Lewis is a genuine athlete. His speed, agility, and defensive capabilities make him a candidate to play center field immediately, and his versatility means he could easily slot into left or right field as well. This versatility is a massive advantage for the Yankees, especially as they navigate the uncertainty surrounding current outfielders like Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham. Bellinger, a former MVP, is having one of his best seasons in years, posting a 264 batting average with 22 home runs and an OPS just under 800. Grisham, meanwhile, is producing solid numbers of his own, with 21 home runs, a 247 batting average, and an OPS slightly over 800. The question for the Yankees now is how they manage the transition from veterans to emerging talent. Bellinger is likely considering free agency options, and Grisham may not be part of the team's long-term plans. In this context, a prospect like Dylan Lewis becomes more than just a high-performing minor leaguer. He's potentially a foundational piece of the next generation of Yankees outfielders. What makes his rise particularly intriguing is the way he's developed over the course of the season. Since moving up to high A, he's cut his strikeout rate by roughly 10%, while also demonstrating power that scouts grade as 70 out of 100, translating into real game impact. At every level, Lewis is showing a capacity to adjust and improve, signaling that his ceiling might be even higher than early projections suggest. One of the most exciting aspects of his profile is the combination of raw power and athleticism. He's capable of hitting balls out of the park, but he also covers a tremendous amount of ground in the outfield, making him a threat both at the plate and defensively. His speed allows him to turn routine fly balls into outs that most center fielders couldn't make, and his instincts in the field suggest he could quickly become one of the Yankees' top defensive players. Pair that with his emerging power at the plate, and you're looking at a player who could have an immediate impact at the major league level once he's ready. Of course, like any young prospect, Lewis has areas to improve. His plate discipline could use refinement, as he tends to chase pitches outside the strike zone, and his walk rate is still relatively low. But these are issues that can be corrected with experience and coaching, especially within an organization like the Yankees that emphasizes baseball IQ and situational awareness. What makes Lewis so compelling is that his flaws are far outweighed by his physical tools, his work ethic, and the tangible improvements he's made over just one season. He's already demonstrated the ability to adjust to higher levels of competition, which bodes extremely well for his path toward the majors. The timing of Lewis' emergence couldn't be better. With Bellinger and Grisham both potentially on the move, The Yankees are facing a scenario where they could lose two starting-caliber outfielders. That's a huge gap to fill, and rather than relying solely on free agency, the team now has a prospect ready to step in and provide significant value. It's the kind of story that fans love, an under-the-radar draft pick from the 13th round, proving everyone wrong and quickly becoming a cornerstone of the franchise's future. Lewis' development also adds an interesting layer to the ongoing conversation about other young Yankees outfielders, like Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez. Both have shown flashes of potential, but consistency has been an issue, and questions remain about how they'll fit into the long-term plans. Lewis' rapid rise forces the organization to think strategically about roster construction, giving them a real option to bridge the gap between the current veterans and the next generation of talent. What's particularly remarkable about Lewis is the balance between his offensive and defensive abilities. Not many prospects enter professional baseball with such a polished combination of power, speed, and fielding instincts. He has already recorded 23 stolen bases this season while maintaining a solid batting average near 249 and continuing to drive the ball with authority. Every game he plays reinforces the idea that he's capable of handling high-pressure situations, adjusting to advanced pitching, and contributing across the board. Scouts are noticing, and fans are starting to take notice too. By the end of the season, it's not unreasonable to imagine Lewis being considered one of the Yankees' top 5 prospects, and possibly even being mentioned in conversations about future Major League impact players. Looking at the bigger picture, Lewis represents a potential shift in how the Yankees approach the outfield over the next few seasons. With Aaron Judge dealing with injuries and corner outfield positions in flux, the team has an opportunity to integrate a homegrown talent who could develop alongside or even replace departing veterans. The beauty of Lewis' profile is that he's not a one-dimensional player. He combines athleticism, raw power, and baseball instincts in a way that makes him flexible, adaptable, and extremely valuable. Whether he ends up playing center, left, or right field, he provides options that the Yankees desperately need as they consider both immediate competitiveness and long-term roster sustainability. This first glimpse at Dylan Lewis as a true prospect isn't just about the stats or the eye-popping games he's had. It's about the trajectory he's on. He's moving quickly, learning fast, and demonstrating a maturity that is rare for a player of his age. The Yankees have a history of letting prospects develop at their own pace, and in Lewis' case, that patience is likely to pay off significantly. Over the next 2 to 3 years, fans could see him make the transition to the majors, not as a gamble, but as a player ready to make an immediate impact. That's a narrative the Yankees haven't had consistently in recent years, making Lewis' emergence all the more compelling. As the season progresses, the Yankees are faced with difficult but exciting decisions regarding the outfield, decisions that could shape the team for years to come. While Dylan Lewis has emerged as an undeniable prospect, the dynamics surrounding other players like Cody Bellinger, Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez, and Trent Grisham create a fascinating landscape of possibilities and challenges. Bellinger, a former National League MVP, remains a cornerstone when healthy, blending power, athleticism, and occasional defensive brilliance in a way that keeps him relevant despite questions about consistency. His 264 batting average paired with 22 home runs and an OPS just shy of 800 makes him a player the Yankees can rely on to provide immediate production. Yet the looming specter of free agency makes it clear that the team cannot rely solely on veterans. The future of the outfield may very well depend on the next wave of talent emerging from within the organization. Spencer Jones, another young outfielder, represents a different kind of potential. Known for his speed and defensive range, he has shown flashes of offensive capability, though consistency remains an issue. His skill set is different from Lewis. Where Lewis combines raw power with athleticism, Jones is more about finesse and defensive coverage, able to transform routine plays into game-changing outs. While his bat may take longer to develop fully, his presence in the minors provides the Yankees with a complementary piece, someone who can be groomed to pair with more power-oriented players. The contrast between Jones and Lewis illustrates the depth and complexity of the Yankees' talent pool. One player is a potential immediate contributor with a balanced skill set, The other is a high-upside defensive ace with room to grow at the plate. Navigating this balance is precisely what separates good organizations from great ones, and the Yankees have the opportunity to leverage both types of talent strategically. Jason Dominguez enters the conversation as yet another critical piece of the puzzle. Dominguez has long been touted for his elite athleticism and power potential, yet injuries and inconsistency have slowed his rise. Despite this, he remains a top prospect within the Yankees system, with the potential to become a major impact player if he can maintain health and focus. Watching Dominguez alongside Lewis highlights the different developmental trajectories a player can take. While Lewis seems to be accelerating rapidly, Dominguez represents the more traditional boom or bust prospect, one whose talent is undeniable, but whose path to consistent major league contribution is less certain. For the Yankees, the interplay between these players is crucial. Each one represents a different kind of investment, and the team must weigh risk, reward, and timing when considering who to push toward the majors. Trent Grisham, who has been performing admirably with 21 home runs and a 247 batting average, adds yet another layer to the mix. While not as heralded as Bellinger or Dominguez, Grisham provides steady production and a reliable bat, making him an important piece of the current roster. His OPS, slightly above 800, signals that he can contribute both in terms of power and on-base skills. Yet with the Yankees likely needing to make salary and roster adjustments, Grisham's role may be in flux, further elevating the importance of prospects like Lewis. When veterans are potentially moving on, a homegrown player who can immediately step into a starting role becomes invaluable. This is where the true strategic genius of prospect development comes into play. The ability to plan for uncertainty while simultaneously cultivating players capable of exceeding expectations. Comparing Lewis to the established players reveals why his emergence has caused so much excitement. While Bellinger and Grisham offer proven production, they come with contractual and age-related considerations that create uncertainty. Lewis, on the other hand, is controllable, cheap, and possesses the athletic profile to develop into a complete player. His 20 home runs, 22 RBIs, and .800 OPS at the minor league level are already compelling. But when combined with his speed, defensive range, and adaptability, the picture becomes even more striking. If he can continue to improve his plate discipline and maintain his current trajectory, he could very well supplant one of the veterans sooner than expected, giving the Yankees a seamless bridge between the present and the future. The beauty of Lewis' profile lies not just in raw numbers, but in his approach to the game. He exhibits a maturity and focus that belies his age, showing that he can make adjustments mid-game and learn from each at-bat. His willingness to adapt is a critical component of his potential success, as the jump from high A to the majors is rarely linear or predictable. By excelling against increasingly advanced pitching, Lewis demonstrates that he has both the tools and the mental approach necessary to thrive at higher levels. For the Yankees, this represents an invaluable resource, a player who can grow into a role rather than being rushed and potentially faltering under pressure. As the organization evaluates their options, the balance between proven veterans and emerging talent becomes a delicate tightrope walk. The Yankees are in a unique position where they can afford to blend both strategies. They can rely on Bellinger for immediate offensive impact, while simultaneously preparing Lewis to inherit a larger role in the near future. This dual approach ensures that the team remains competitive in the present while safeguarding its long-term outlook. It's an approach that requires careful planning, patience, and a keen eye for talent, all of which the Yankees' scouting and development staff have demonstrated over the years. The long-term implications for the outfield are significant. If Lewis continues his ascent, he could form the nucleus of the next generation of Yankee stars. Pairing him with the likes of Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez creates a dynamic, versatile outfield capable of both offensive firepower and defensive coverage. These young players offer the kind of multidimensional skill set that allows a team to adapt to different opponents, manage injuries, and sustain high levels of performance across a long season. For fans, the potential is tantalizing. A new wave of talent ready to carry the Yankees' legacy forward while complementing existing veterans. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers around the baseball world are growing louder as the New York Yankees reportedly secured one of the most coveted arms in recent memory, Max Scherzer, to fortify their already formidable starting rotation. Insiders suggest that negotiations have been intense, with multiple teams vying for the veteran pitcher's signature. But the Yankees' allure, both in financial incentives and championship aspirations, may have tipped the scales decisively. Sources familiar with the matter indicate that Scherzer's arrival in New York is not merely about statistics. It's a statement of intent. The Yankees, a franchise steeped in history and high expectations, are signaling that they are willing to invest heavily in experience and proven dominance to reclaim supremacy in the American League. Rumors swirling within the clubhouse hint at an immediate impact on team morale, with younger pitchers reportedly eager to learn from one of the game's most celebrated aces. Conversations among league insiders suggest that Scherzer's presence could shift not only the Yankees' rotation dynamics, but also the psychological landscape of the division, creating an aura of invincibility that opponents may find daunting. Analysts speculate that this move could reverberate beyond the season, influencing trade strategies, roster decisions, and even the approach of rival teams as they attempt to counter what is increasingly being called a near-perfect assembly of pitching talent. While official statements remain carefully measured, the murmurs in New York sports circles suggest that Scherzer's acquisition could be a transformative moment, not just for the Yankees, but for the league at large. Conversations among insiders hint that the negotiation process, though shrouded in secrecy, may have included intricate financial structuring and performance-based incentives designed to maximize both team success and player satisfaction. Observers note that Scherzer's signing could elevate the competitive tone of the American League East, where even perennial contenders may need to reconsider their strategies in light of this development. Discussions in media circles speculate on how his presence could impact the rotation, potentially pushing other starters into new roles or creating a tandem that could redefine pitching approaches against divisional rivals. The chatter suggests that clubhouse dynamics may experience subtle yet profound shifts as teammates adjust to the presence of a high-profile veteran whose career accomplishments command respect and attention. Sports columnists hint that this move could set a precedent, encouraging other franchises to pursue marquee signings aggressively, reshaping off-season expectations. Fans are already buzzing, with social media conjecture painting dramatic scenarios where Scherzer's dominance on the mound translates into decisive playoff runs, further inflaming anticipation. Rumors also speculate on the broader marketing impact, suggesting the Yankees could leverage Scherzer's reputation for brand visibility and ticket sales, intensifying the excitement around the team's upcoming campaigns and creating a buzz that stretches far beyond the diamond. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that Scherzer's decision to join the Yankees may hinge on more than just baseball considerations. Sources intimate with the situation indicate that lifestyle, media exposure, and the opportunity to compete at the highest level in front of one of the sport's most passionate fan bases played a role in his choice. Conversations among insiders suggest that the Yankees' front office has meticulously crafted a pitch that highlights both competitive advantages and long-term career benefits, ensuring that Scherzer's arrival is as much about legacy as it is about performance metrics. Industry chatter posits that the acquisition could spark a ripple effect, prompting other high-caliber players to reevaluate their options, potentially shifting the balance of power in multiple divisions. Analysts speculate that opposing managers are already recalculating strategies, considering how best to navigate a rotation headlined by a pitcher known for his fierce competitiveness, precise command, and playoff pedigree. Media pundits hint that this news will dominate off-season discussions, with a narrative focusing not only on Scherzer's statistical contributions, but also on the psychological edge he brings to the mound. Rumors also suggest that team executives are quietly celebrating the move as a signal to fans that the Yankees are serious contenders, blending tradition with modern talent acquisition strategies. The buzz implies that Scherzer's presence could catalyze a renewed sense of championship urgency, making the Yankees a team that must be measured against history while simultaneously redefining expectations for the present season, creating a story that resonates throughout the league and beyond the ballpark. Insiders speculate that Scherzer's integration into the Yankees could influence in-game strategy in unprecedented ways, with whispers hinting at potential shifts in bullpen usage, rotation sequencing, and matchup prioritization. Conversations among coaching staff reportedly revolve around leveraging Scherzer's elite repertoire to create tactical advantages against divisional adversaries, particularly those with formidable lineups that demand precision and adaptability. The rumor mill suggests that veteran players may welcome the challenge, seeing Scherzer as both a mentor and a motivator whose presence compels higher performance standards. Analysts speculate that opposing teams might feel psychological pressure before even stepping onto the field, aware that they face one of the sport's most intimidating pitchers on a regular basis. Sports columnists hint that this development could impact media narratives, drawing comparisons to historic rotations and fueling debate over whether the Yankees now possess one of the most fearsome pitching staffs in modern baseball history. Social media chatter reflects a mix of excitement and speculation, with fans envisioning dominant outings, playoff heroics, and even the potential for Cy Young contention. Behind closed doors, executives reportedly monitor these discussions closely, aware that public perception can influence team morale and market positioning. Rumors suggest that the Yankees may also consider leveraging Scherzer's star power in future trades or marketing campaigns, highlighting the multidimensional impact of this signing. The consensus among insiders is that while statistics will ultimately define success, the symbolic weight of Scherzer joining the Yankees already creates a buzz that intensifies every conversation about the upcoming season, establishing an aura of inevitability that opponents will find difficult to ignore. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.